Before we learn about project management and what it is, we need to learn what a project is. A project is a set of activities and tasks that need to be completed, usually within a due date. So it's a set of or a series of activities with a lifespan that would require different resources, different type of people with different background and skills and knowledge, and those activities need to be completed all so that the project is completed. Here we want to learn more about project, what a project is, and how we can actually manage a project. What is a project? A project is a set of unique one-time operations designed to accomplish a specific set of objectives in a limited time frame. Examples of a project are the Olympic Games, producing a movie, software development, product development, getting a bachelor degree, taking or completing a course. So as you see here, almost every big task that can actually contain multiple subtasks can be considered as a project. The nature of projects. Projects go through a series of different stages, which we call in the life cycle of a project. All projects have a beginning and an end, and in the middle, there are other stages such as planning, executing those plans, and monitoring and controlling those plans, and also at the end, closing the project. Because there are different tasks and activities in the project which would require different skills and different knowledge and different background. Therefore, a project would bring together people with a diverse background, different knowledge level, different skill level. Most of those people would actually remain associated with the project far less than the life cycle and the lifespan of the project itself. So beside everything else that would impact a project, the organization structure would also impact how projects are managed. The life cycle of a project. Although projects vary, they are different from each other. All projects go through similar steps and stages. Here we want to talk about those stages. Every project has a beginning and an end and some steps in the middle. The first stage of each project is the defining the project, the opening of the project. In this stage, in this very first stage, this is the stage that we set the goals of the project, we identify the tasks and the activities that needs to be completed for the project to be done. We identify the specification, the resources, the responsibilities, the people that we need, the teams that we need to make, and also whether the project is feasible or not. This is at this very stage that most projects actually are dead because we figure out that they are infeasible to begin with. After we are done with the first stage, the defining or definition of the project, after we have set the goals and set the specification and the resources that we need and whether the project is feasible, we're going to move to the second stage, which is planning for all those possibilities, planning for the specification, the requirement, the resources to arrive, ordering the resources, planning for the staff, for the team, for the responsibilities, planning for the budget that we need to accomplish all the tasks required in the project, and also specifying the risks for completing the project based on the different tasks that we need to do, and also planning for the staffing and people and for the teams that we need to build. After the planning stage, here's come the next stage, which is put everything to work. At this very stage is when we accomplish tasks, when we work So at this stage, we also monitor and control the progress of each task and each team and the responsibilities of each team. So there's going to be a lot of the reports that need to be filed. And there's going to be a lot of communication between different teams and different stages and activities. And also there's going to be changes required. We might end up going to some blockage for some activities. They may actually not go as the way we planned for it. Some resources may have delayed. We don't get them on time. So there's going to be a dynamic change here, dynamic progress that we need to identify the risk. We need to identify the blockage. We need to make changes and move on. And also we need to have a control over the quality of the task and the progress of the task that we are doing. After we are done with this stage, then the project is at the closing stage or at the delivery stage. At this stage is where we reassign the staff or we release the resources, we transfer documents, we file reports, the project reports, and we have a moment to learn the lesson that we learned from this project so that we can apply it to our next project. So these very 4 or 5 stages are similar for different projects. Managing a project would require a lot of decision making, but there are some key decisions in all project management, such as deciding whether to implement or do a project at the first place. This is in the definition and the beginning stage of life cycle of a project. For example, given the budget, the estimated budget, and the cost-benefit ratio and other estimation, we might actually decide that the project is not worth doing or is actually infeasible. Another key decision is selecting the project manager. Each project needs to have a manager. And also there's going to be teams, project teams, that have to do and assign to different activities to do the different parts for the project. Another key decision is planning and designing the project. This is after coming the first stage of the project. That when we decide whether we want to do the project or not, and we decide that it's feasible, and we identify the specification, the resources needed, the teams that we require, and the people and the staff, then we need to do planning and designing different parts and different activities of the project. Another key decision is managing and controlling the project resources. And finally, whether actually we should, when and if we should actually terminate the project. Project manager. Although there are different people and different teams involved in performing and doing a project, but ultimately the project manager is the one person who's responsible for the success or the failure of the project. The project manager must effectively manage different parts of the project. For example, the work itself, that's performing different activities, accomplishing different goals or different activities for the project, the human resources, the staffing, different people involved in the project, the communications between different teams, the quality of the work that is done, the timing of different activities, and ultimately the timing of the project, and also the cost associated with the project itself. Several of these responsibilities are often portrayed as what is known as the project management triangle, which we're going to see. Here is the project management triangle. Between different decisions that have to be made and different aspects of a project, there are 3 that would stand out. These are cost, timing or scheduling, the performance objective or the scope of the project, and also one additional dimension to add here is quality, the quality of project.